fastest show in sports.
Let's move to the National Football League, because there's an issue out there that really is not getting a tremendous amount of attention, and I believe it needs a whole lot more. Tom Brady is a name that when he attaches himself to a project, it immediately becomes profitable. He is one of, if not the greatest player in National Football League history. But Tom has connected his name right now to something which will not help him, and which, quite frankly, is a little bit deplorable that he would even get involved in this. He's not the first, and he won't be the last, because this is not about football. This is about money. If you have never heard the phrase before, familiarize yourself with the word sports washing.
As American sensation Coco Gauff celebrates her win at the Women's Tennis Association finals this weekend, there's controversy. Not over who won, but where it happened. Riyadh, capital of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Critics point out the irony of a religious monarchy with a poor record on human rights, where women are second-class citizens, now playing host to one of the top events in women's sports. Former world number one Martina Navratilova slammed the move in an interview with the New York Times earlier this month, saying, quote, "Women have to be equal citizens under the law. Otherwise, we might as well play in North Korea." Coco Gauff echoing those concerns before playing.
I would be lying to you if I said I had no reservations.
But going on to say she hoped her presence would inspire change for women in the country. The WTA telling The Athletic, quote, "We believe it is the right thing to open up new opportunities for women to play professional tennis in different countries." The WTA didn't respond to our request for comment. The prize money for contestants, more than $15 million. It's the latest in a years-long push by Saudi Arabia into the world of sports, which some call sports washing, an attempt to launder the image of the authoritarian kingdom through high-profile competitions. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the de facto ruler of the kingdom, told Fox News last year those accusations don't bother him.
Well, if sport washing going to increase my GDP by 1%, and then I will continue doing sport washing.
In 2021, the Sovereign Wealth Fund of Saudi Arabia completing a controversial takeover of British Premier League soccer club Newcastle United, and attracting some of soccer's biggest stars, like Neymar and Cristiano Ronaldo, to the Saudi Pro Soccer League with unbeatable contracts. The country's also on track to host the 2034 Men's World Cup, setting off controversy. The Saudis taking a big swing at golf, too, when it backed LIV in 2021, an entirely new league to compete with the PGA, again luring top athletes with massive money. The next year, then former President Trump himself taking heat for hosting a LIV tournament at his Bedminster club, with some 9/11 victims' families critical of the Saudis running this ad.
This golf tournament is taking place 50 miles from ground zero.
It's disgusting.
The tournament and LIV played on.
This is nothing new. Sports washing has been around for a number of years, and the Saudis have gotten very good at it, because what they're trying to do is make themselves legitimate and cover up the human rights violations and abuses of their own country by simply using money and throwing money at it. Now, Coco Gauff saying, basically when the WTA went to Saudi Arabia, that she couldn't say that she wasn't concerned about it. She was there for the money. She's there for the competitive edge of that. She's there to play the game. The WTA, the Women's Tennis Association, with all of the stunning abuses of women in Saudi Arabia, still goes there to play a match. Why? Because there's millions of dollars at stake. Every single one of these athletes, every single one who gets involved, this is about the money. They don't care about the human rights abuses. They don't care about what that view is of what they may be doing, because every one of these athletes is condoning what Saudi Arabia is doing when they take part in an event and take that money. I said this when LIV Golf started. I've said this for soccer. I've said this for many years. It is a very serious issue that's involved, and now Tom Brady's involved in it, of all things, because recently on Mike Florio's Pro Football Talk, they ran this.
Tom Brady here. I'm very excited to unretire and come back and play in another incredible flag football game in Riyadh, March 21st, 2026 for Riyadh season. I'm here with my partner and friend, His Excellency.
We are very happy
I'm ready.
have you on Riyadh.
And I'm ready for this.
Yes.
Let's go.
For sure.
Let's go.
Ever since Saudi Arabia decided to direct the resources of the Public Investment Fund toward American sports, we've been watching and waiting for the moment they turn their attention to football. It's just a matter of time. We've kind of felt that. And what is this? This is dipping the toe in the water. Flag football is a big deal right now. The NFL is on board with any effort to promote flag football. This isn't an NFL initiative that's going to happen in Saudi Arabia, but the NFL isn't complaining about it because it promotes flag football globally. And you got Tom Brady involved. You got multiple players involved. I've asked all the teams of the players who are involved, have you granted permission to do this? Because under the contract, they can't play football for anyone but you, flag or otherwise. The Cowboys have allowed CeeDee Lamb to do it. No one else has gotten back to me. And I don't even think that they buttoned this up the way they should and got permission before they just announced to the world this is going to happen, that Saquon Barkley is going to be there, that Christian McCaffrey is going to be there, that CeeDee Lamb is going to be there, that, well, Max Crosby and Brock Bowers don't have to worry about getting permission because Brady's the boss. But I think the NFL should be very concerned about this. I think this is the baby step toward doing the thing that they did to golf.
We need to point out right away at the top that, as Mike said, the National Football League has not endorsed this. They're not behind this. This is a completely separate effort of flag football in Saudi Arabia. But he is also precise in what he's saying about the NFL not raising a hand to it, because flag football is their initiative right now, that they can get into a new audience, that they can get into more of the female audience, the kids audience, and the guys and the gals who don't normally do something very athletic. It's their chance to basically conquer another marketing scheme. So they're not going to stop this. But this doesn't get away from the fact of the heinous nature of what this means for these people taking money, being part of something that simply they need to avoid. Let's look first. The players that are involved at the event itself are facing this from the Saudi Arabian side of things. These are people who purchased a soccer team. They've been given the 2034 World Cup. Live Golf was there, and that deal to merge with the PGA is dead. Thankfully, the PGA got smart, but I know it's not about smarts. This is about money more than anything else. They now have a Formula One Grand Prix there. They house and host a lot of boxing events. And the UFC and the WWE is going to be in Saudi Arabia in 2026. And, as we mentioned earlier, they hosted the WTA Finals. What makes this discussable, if you will, is who the Saudis are. Because while they are using sports to get out into the global flow of good news, this is still a regime that has imprisoned and tortured journalists. Let us not forget the murder of Jamal Khashoggi. They deny women, and this is the thing that comes up with regard to the WTA taking their money. The Saudi Arabian government, on a regular basis, denies basic human rights to women. They are slammed into prison for decades, merely for any kind of public activism or posting anything on social media. They go to jail. There are death sentences if you use social media to protest the government. They have sentenced people to death, and they have carried out these sentences. Migrant workers come into Saudi Arabia, specifically in the building of a lot of stadiums, hotels, buildings, whatever. They are sold into forced labor. Their money is kept from them. They are not allowed to go back home. They are not allowed. They are basically indentured slaves. And the death penalty for LGBTQ plus people, once they are public or once they go public, the Saudi government hits them with the death penalty. These are the people that tennis, golf, wrestling, Formula One, and now NFL players are condoning. The NFL players, the names that jump right out at you, the first one is Saquon Barkley, who is set to play in the game, but he's still under contract to the Eagles, so it's unknown if he's going to be able to play. But these are 10 players: Tom Brady, Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, CeeDee Lamb, Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, George Kittle, Fred Warner, Rob Gronkowski, and Sauce Gardner. They're all set to play in this flag football series in a land that kills journalists, sentences women to death, puts people with alternative lifestyles to death, and that basically uses their money to destroy human rights in their own country. I know we're off sports, but in essence we are still. This is all about money. For Tom Brady, for Rob Gronkowski, for Saquon Barkley. You don't think they're doing this for free, right? You don't think they're going to play flag football in Saudi Arabia and not get any money for it. Of course they are. They're going to make money. The Women's Tennis Association goes there because of the guaranteed money that they are handed, saying that it benefits the players. And of course they need the money. The WWE and UFC are going there because they see a market that is untapped, that is worth billions of dollars to them. It puts a foothold in the European market and gives them a partner with unlimited funds. National Football League is watching. Because as flag football grows, they're going to make more money. And that money, some of it, is going to come from the Saudis. It's going to come from a government, a country that kills its own people, that murders those it doesn't believe follows its way of political thinking, or religious thinking in many ways, and profits at the same time while doing all this. And everybody's happy. It's the Saudis. We have a Formula One Grand Prix there. It looks pretty. It looks nice. Look at the great facilities they built for tennis. Look at the great arenas they're going to build for wrestling and for boxing events. Look at all they're going to do for us. And the flag football event that Tom Brady is getting involved in is going to get tremendous attention. It is going to get worldwide attention. Tom Brady, I know you're not going to see this. It's okay. Maybe, just maybe, someone will get this to you. You're a good guy, Tom. You never stole a freight train. You're not a bad guy. You're just a football player, a former football player. Don't do it. It's not worth it. If you take the Saudi money, you are condoning what they do. You are standing alongside your partner, His Excellency, whose name you didn't even know. And you're agreeing to be part of the marketing effort that gets Saudi Arabia clean, that washes them, that uses sports to wash their reputation, while the rest of the world is watching. Do you need the money, Tom? That badly? Do you need the adulation? Do you need to be on camera that bad? Do you really want your kids to look at you one day and say, Dad, how could you have taken the money from a government that kills people because they don't believe in a certain religion They don't believe in a certain sexual orientation, or they question the government itself peacefully. How could you take their money? I don't know how you do it, but don't do it. You don't need to. And to the National Football League, you don't need to get involved with the Saudis. Saudis are going to try and buy a piece of you. Sooner or later, that's going to happen. But you don't need to get involved. You don't need to be part of it. Let them go. Let them do with someone else. Don't taint yourself by being part of this greedy, every single nickel we can get, millions and billions and trillions of dollars because we need it, because we want to get richer, because we want to make more money, because we want to be more powerful. You're powerful now. I want you to think, and here's what I want people to think before we move on. Every time you hear about a Saudi Arabian-backed event, Live Golf, think about the men and the women who are in prison because they dared speak out against the Saudi government. Think of the children whose mothers and fathers are gone. Think of the executions that have and will be held against those people who simply ask questions and want a better life for themselves. If you as a league or an athlete are okay with that, and if you as a listener, viewer of this show, a sports fan, if you're okay with it, I can't stop you. You have to make your own decisions. But think for a moment what this means to others instead of to you.
That's all, folks.